The Match Ball.
Oh dear. Hello, welcome to the Match Ball. It's Dan here with Chris Mack and with Rob in a show that's brought to you in association with Levi Solicitors. We don't even have Monkey Michael here to do this, do we? 15% discount on wills, conveyancing, lasting powers of attorney until the end of October 2024. Full terms on the website, levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. 10% discount off your legal fees on everything else, including professional negligence. We can trot that one out again.
We needed someone to do that read properly tonight, didn't we? We didn't need any more errors.
Well, it's a draw that should have been a win that sounds... There's no sound. Someone's just tweeting us saying there's no sound. Bear with me a second. Do we have sound now? Can you hear me? There's sound. Oh, good. Right.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Very slick tonight. Everything's going to plan.
Well, we've done the read. We'll cut this out of the audio version. That's good. So, a draw that should have been a win, but feels like a defeat.
This podcast is going to be very different to what it could have been.
About
when we were
about
all
10 minutes ago?
Very, very giddy 10 minutes ago, laughing at Melier, ironically, time wasting, playing it all very professionally. Thought this is how you handle an away victory and what would have been a very good 3 points. And then that happened.
I'm going to take the big three graphic off the screen. We're live streaming on YouTube for our TSB Plus members. I'm going to put the talking points caption up because the big three that we've written down were Pirro, Junior Firpo, and I was going to talk about how well Rothwell had done in midfield.
We could link Junior Firpo to Melier, and that Firpo just stormed down the tunnel at full time, which maybe not a great look, but at the same time, I can completely sympathise with him for that reaction, because I think if you've got nothing nice to say, maybe don't say anything at all.
Well, maybe he shouldn't have headed it in the direction of Melier.
And we're blaming Firpo.
He should have known where that divot in the pitch was.
What happened there?
Leeds United happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to get too annoyed about it because
I don't know.
we played really, really well, I think, and should have won. And it's not like the other night where we could have won and we didn't because we didn't really bother for the last 20 minutes. We didn't win because the grass on Sunderland's pitches isn't good enough, and Melier is definitely concussed.
Yeah.
That has been theorised.
Wink to camera.
I'm not letting you have that, Chris, even though Marco Sia suggested it. What has he done, lads?
I mean,
What has he done?
we've seen Peacocks here, Felix Wiedwald, Paul Rahubke, Bailey Peacock-Farrell do some daft shit as Leeds United goalkeepers, and many more. I've never seen anything like that at that time in a game when everything seemed to be so good, and then suddenly it was all so wrong.
It's very champo. I mean, if we're talking about looking at the free agent market, Felix Wiedwald's available. You want to go for an experienced goalkeeper?
Get a steady hand in there.
I mean, Melier was looking at the pitch.
It did spin a little bit, but...
Do you think he just took his eye off it?
I genuinely don't know what to say about it because, fuck me, we all saw it. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, it's just... Oh, God.
I mean, it happens. It's just unfortunate that it happened to Leeds United because it feels like it only ever happens to Leeds United.
Should we just pretend we won?
Well, I didn't actually see it until after, so in my mind, we did win.
God, that's so disappointing.
I mean, I
isn't
saw it and I still couldn't really compute what had happened. It was like, I know the ball's in the net, but none of this is fair, so it shouldn't count.
Well, because I was watching it on the Sky stream via the Sky website, entirely legitimately in the Leeds office tonight. But I was trying to follow it in real time because the real feed obviously is about 30 seconds to a minute ahead of what we're seeing on the stream. And I happened to see it on Twitter. Graham Smith, it said 2-2 Melier howler. And I didn't understand what was going to happen.
Yeah, you thought maybe he's let one in at the near post, but he's fully Massimo Taibbi'd it.
I mean, you just keep your eye on the ball, dive onto the ball, smother it, just watch it, just do what you do all the time, and don't do that in the 98th minute of a game that we could do with winning, really, and would have been a huge victory going into the break.
See, this is what happens when people complain about him punching the ball.
Are you saying he should have punched it
Punch that,
See?
yeah.
straight into the ground?
He did actually catch a few tonight as well, and he made a really good save, which was completely wasted because it was in the build-up to their first goal. It's like, oh, what a waste of a wonder save.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, no one is going to be talking about that right now.
Because it was a brilliant save.
Yeah, and there was lots of good stuff about tonight. Like, we played really well. You would almost say that is a perfect away performance right up until the 96th minute. And even then, it's just one guy. Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are going to be saying, let's get Melier out, but Carl Darlow is also pretty bad.
Alex Cairns,
He
played quite well against us for Salford last year. So maybe that's the answer. I mean, what do you do with Melier? Do you drop him? Because that's sort of...
You don't and you can't, sadly.
I mean, I think the good thing maybe is that we don't play for a little while and everyone can go away and decompress slightly. But you know that as soon as the ball goes towards him, when we play Sheffield United on a Friday night and Chris Wilder's horrible face is on the touchline, everyone's going to be shitting their pants, basically, including Melier, I suspect.
Why didn't he just catch it? That's all I had to do is just do his job.
Should have punched it.
Just catch it. Just kick it.
Yeah, just on the volley.
Yeah. Just put anything. Put your foot through it. Just don't do the thing that you did.
Yeah, just do anything but that.
Should we rewind then and go and speak about some of the better things? Because I could just sit here exasperated probably for half an hour with Elan Melier and trying to understand what he's done. I'd love to see the comments coming through from Firpo as well. Who is obviously, he's going to defend him. He will suggest it was just one of those things. I dare say it feels like a proper gut punch at the minute. Feels like a proper gut punch. But big three from our perspective. We said we were going to talk about Pirro coming in for Joseph from the start. A good performance from him, I thought.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw the team. We were all quite confident coming in here, which is always unsettling. And then I saw the team and I was a bit like, oh, well, I didn't expect that, even though I have wanted to see Pirro at 9, just to see if he can do it, basically, because he's always looked a bit awkward in the team. And it felt like a slightly weird timing in that Farke's kind of been defending Joseph. Obviously, we don't know whether that's a fitness thing and that it's the third game in 6 days, or whether it is because against Norwich he just wasn't really involved. But Pirro came in and did what he does. And also just that goal, it was very basic. It was the type of goal where you think, why don't we just do that all the time? Just cross the ball and let him head it in.
It's a great cross.
And a great header.
You really shouldn't be relying on a striker at that age for 46 games a season.
No.
46 games is an insane amount for any player to play every week, especially when you've played, maybe like 150, 200 minutes in the Championship
He'd never
previously,
started a league
even.
game, has he?
So, yeah, fair enough. I think the Pirro thing, it sort of went how we maybe expected. He looked decent first sort of 15, doing the stuff that isn't just scoring goals. But after that, maybe I think by the time he came off, it's probably time to take him off. But he scored. It's
maybe the right way around to do it. If he can score, because that's what you want from your striker, and then to bring Joseph on as a sub at the end when you're in control of the game and he can come on and do the
see it out,
pressing and unglamorous stuff, and help you secure a point away from home, I guess.
I'm glad we hung on for that point. Do you know, it would have made the next 2 weeks so much better, because you think, do you know what? We would have been in touching distance at top. We've seen off the team that was at the top, deservedly so, in my opinion. And you can sort of bask in it for 2 weeks and come back with confidence. And now it'll be, well, we threw that one away, so there's more pressure on the Sheffield United game when we come back. It's not fair, is it?
It does boil down to that. I mean, I made a note at half-time when it was still 1-1, and I'd seen the live league table and we were third and 3 points off top. And I know teams around us have to play, but I was like, that's quite good. And you'd probably take it. And the note I made was that Farke's going to sell for this, isn't he? But then we went in front and we were playing really well. And that's why it all feels so shit now.
Well, just an update. I have had a message from Michael, who I think it's contractually he's not allowed to do Friday nights. He's refusing in terms of his contracts. I'm not doing that. Yeah, no, he's at a family do this weekend. Happy to not be on this. I might suggest a public flogging for Melier. Consider it done, Michael. There you go. Bad times. I can't think of anything else but how annoyed I am at that ending. It's weird. What else have we got? Junior Firpo pops up with a goal. The other number 9 we could maybe rely on if we need someone up front to do stuff.
Put the gloves on him.
Junior Firpo, Dominican Republic's number 9. It's a bit long, but
And he was well annoyed, as Brian's just pointed out in the comments, pissed going into the tunnel. I mean, angry, I think.
does it help? Don't think it helps.
But it's a completely natural reaction, isn't it? I mean, actually, I'm just looking on FotMob. It's been credited to him as an own goal, that.
Firpo.
Rubbish.
Oh, that's harsh. Did Melier not get any touch at all? Can't blame him.
I don't know. We did a mug for him as well.
I think Melier is annoyed that we haven't made a mug for him, and he's taken it out on us by making Junior Firpo score an own goal. Because you tweeted that picture of us with the mug.
Firpo is in the changing room right now, feet up, drinking from that mug, cigar out of his mouth. It's like, well, I did my job, mate. Come on.
God, I do wonder what the atmosphere is going to be like there, where it's going to be, I'm sorry, lads. Je suis désolé.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
For anybody who's not a native speaker, that means I'm sorry in English. Firpo was good. Rothwell was good in midfield. I thought the midfield looked good. It wasn't protecting the back four as well as we might have seen from our other two central midfielders, but I thought they did a good job tonight. And like Rothwell was doing really nice, tidy, progressive stuff.
Playing two centre midfielders, neither of which are defensive, isn't going to help your defence. It also probably doesn't help that you have two fullbacks who can't really defend either. Although I think Bogle looked all right.
Yeah,
defensively.
Part of me thought if he was going to play Byram tonight, just because I thought if he does have two central midfielders that aren't necessarily holding players, does he really want two fullbacks that play as wingers? But it makes our games a lot more fun, even if we don't have that solidity that we would have with Ampadu and Gruev. But Rothwell, I thought, was great. Like, just getting on the ball, turning forward, loads of good, nice control, and just, like say, looking forward and picking passes forward. And it really helps. Like, it was weird how Sunderland started quite well and got their goal, and then they just sat off us for a bit.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really odd because we looked quite vulnerable without
and that's
Ampadu.
the thing that Farke is always criticised for the same thing.
But even though they did that and they had like 5 at the back and 4 in front of them, we still created a load of chances for that period in the first half, and Rothwell was a big part of that, I thought.
Yeah, I think part of the reason I'm not getting too annoyed tonight is probably because that's the team who are top of the league and they're not that good.
No.
And I don't think they're top of the league because they're not Preston or whatever. They probably will. They'll be involved in the race somehow, whether that's the playoffs or an automatic promotion race. But even Burnley, who beat us, weren't great. It's very, very early days. It's just annoying that we're now not top of the league.
Good observation.
It's weird though, after a week where we've drawn 2 games, but I feel like we're getting better or more fluid at least. And whether that's because of Tanaka and Rothwell. But yeah, I think despite all our injuries, despite a week where we've given both home teams a goal start, we've actually looked like pretty good for a lot of it.
Yeah.
And probably seen a lot more positive play than we've seen in some games where we've won, for instance.
Yeah. That's a good shout. Yeah. I feel like we are building up a head of steam. Maybe we're a bit like an oil tanker at the start of a season and we just need that to build up that momentum or make that turn, whatever it is that I'm trying to get at.
Maybe Elan Melier is an oil tanker.
Maybe.
The reason I missed the goal was because I was just writing 3 straight man of the matches for Gnonto, maybe. 3 straight.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
He's definitely our best player.
He was great tonight, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think when he's in the groove like he is now, he just looks like he can completely take the piss at this level. Like, we just give him the ball and he can just dribble and beat a load of players, which again, I mean, it was fine when we were passing forward tonight. Like, we did create more, but even when we are a bit more turgid, to have that option where it's like, just give that guy the ball and he'll do loads of really good stuff with it.
Yeah. I mean, when I listened to that interview last week or start of this week that he did with BBC, and he was talking about the World Cup coming up in 2 years, you can sort of see in your mind where he's at now. He's starting to go, right, get Leeds up this year. I would assume he'd stick around if Leeds do go up, and give him a reason to stick around. And then he's got a big year in the Premier League ahead of him, and he probably would go to the World Cup with Italy, I'd say.
He's so cruel as well, because the image from tonight, the defining image should be Willie Gnonto blowing kisses at the home fans after the Firpo goal that he'd set up. But it all went wrong again.
It all went bad, didn't it, Rob? Sigh. Comments are coming in now from the post-match. Forever Country Boy, thank you, saying that Farke's saying how proud he is of the team on Sky, which is right to be. right to be. I mean, I don't know if he's caveated that by saying, but Elan let us down. You let us down.
That fucking idiot in there.
I mean, there is genuinely nothing you can say to him. Is that you've just got to let it slide. But sigh. Back to the man of the match. So he's saying Gnonto. I think Rothwell would have been a close second there. I thought he did some good stuff tonight.
Yeah, we were saying Rothwell's kind of the novelty shout in that we've not really seen much of him before. But Willie does look a class apart, I think. I'd really love to see him as our number 10. I'd love to see Dan James back and playing on the right wing and giving us a bit more width. And Gnonto as our number 10. Because I'm very aware it's my own prejudice against Brendan Aronson, but he reminded me a bit of Tyler Roberts tonight.
Yeah, he's not very clean on the ball. Everything I know it's very easy to sit here and go, all right, pass it, or give it. But then he takes a touch and he takes another touch, and then you can see he actually kind of reminds me of Jack Harrison at times.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Harrison, you could see him overthinking everything every time he had the ball, and the best of Bielsa, I suppose the best of a lot of teams, was when you're in that flow state and you just play rather than
it just happens, instinctively.
Yeah, he's like his work rate's really good and he's very busy, and I think like out of possession he helps a lot. But yeah, just on the ball, I find him really frustrating sometimes. He does a lot of like jinking and twisting and turning. He'll beat a player, but then he kind of doesn't really know what to do next, and he either falls over or passes it backwards.
Yeah. It's frustrating like that, isn't he? A little bit. Yeah, it's not like he's in his own head still a little bit. Yeah, I agree.
It's like a greyhound.
Touch of the Harrisons, yeah. Frantic.
If we had Joel Perro in front of him with like a rabbit attached to him, maybe he'd be better.
I'll make sure we get in touch with the people at the club and put that to them. Chris. What other talking points have we got from tonight then? It's like I feel like the notes are all like kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, it's really weird. Even when I've like been trying to be positive, then in my head, all I'm thinking is Melier.
Yeah, because I did the old thing of getting absorbed into the game in the second half. Like I've made a few notes about incidents in the first half, going behind. They started singing Leeds are falling apart again after 11 minutes, and we would have been able to throw it back in their faces had we hung on there.
Yeah, just thinking about that ball that Isaac Schmidt played.
Oh, yes.
Gnonto, it was Gnonto and
it's
Aronson got it, so we'll blame Aronson for that too.
He was getting away with a lot of our players, didn't he? I mean, that one in the first half, which I think it was called back for a foul anyway, wasn't it? But when there was a mix-up in the box and he ended up tackling Firpo when he could have like struck it at goal, that was a bit annoying. Firpo, I'm just looking at my notes then, going back to Firpo, his booking in the second half was a brilliant Junior Firpo booking where he just completely got confused, kind of forgot what defending is, and just thought, I'll just drag him down, it'll be fine. Yeah,
it always involves a light wrestle, which I enjoyed.
He's never subtle, is he, Junior?
Actually, that's something we've completely been directed away from or diverted away from speaking about Don Goodman, because if you didn't get Don Goodman, he was on the UK commentary, the co-commentator, former Leeds youth, former Sunderland player, and monumental dickhead.
Absolutely.
Just another dreadful performance from him, to the point where we're just all getting annoyed at him. I mean, I might have said some things in here that probably shouldn't ever go on a live stream about him.
Save that for the behind the paywall.
Well, save that for extra time.
We can't even say it on that, can we? Let's be serious.
Nah, but he was hard work, and like trying to advocate for Joe Rodon being lucky for only getting a yellow when he committed a foul 30 yards inside Sunderland's half when he clearly wasn't the last man, nowhere near it. Shut up.
I mean, the alternative is Hinchcliffe, so...
Shut up.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish we actually were in the German office. I don't know who covers the championship in Germany, and I don't speak German, but I think I'd enjoy it more.
It would be better. It was nice at half-time to have Jermaine Beckford sort of balancing it out, where they were asking him whether Perot was offside, and he might have been a tiny bit offside, but Beckford wasn't having any of it quite right, and really seems to upset, is it Joby McAnuff?
Yeah.
So yeah, well done, Jermaine.
He possibly was just like a fraction offside, fractionally, but you're into line drawing territory. And again, bollocks. Even if that was against us, and it's easy for me to say this because it was given, but I don't want VAR. I'd rather they were just given. And next year, as you said, Chris, at the time when we were talking about it, they will be.
Yeah. If you're claiming that should be given as offside, you need to get a life, I think.
Don Goodman reckon their guy got the ball for the foul on Rodon that led to our second.
Rodon kicked the ball at him, and he then fouled him. And also, shut up.
Likewise, when there was the
Yeah, shut up. I think it's just one of those nights.
there was the handball shout against, was it Ramazani in the build up to that? And again, I was like, I hope it is. Quite frankly, it will be a lot funnier.
I just love the kind of it all goes out the window. That's essentially what's happened tonight. Everything has gone out the window. Any sensible discussion out the window because of Melier. Any sensible discussion out the window because of Don fucking Goodman. What else have you got? Bring it to the table. We've done man of the match. Dickhead ref didn't even do anything really wrong, did he? I didn't think.
Too much added time.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
I've absolutely no. So I have this idea in my head that we're really good on Friday nights, and I was totting up the last 10 games. We've only won 5 of them.
Right.
So no.
50% success rate.
Do you know what game was on a Friday night? The 4-0 at QPR. I've absolutely no idea why I've come to that conclusion, but maybe it's Spygate night.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Which was also 5.5 years ago. But sure.
So there not been that many. Oh, Elan.
And I've just seen a note as well that it was 11 minutes in where their fans were singing Leeds are falling apart again. It was like, oh, we did the comeback. We could have sang it back at them. And also all their fans left with about 15 minutes to go. So none of them saw the equaliser.
So they've given up hope.
So
it
again,
count,
it shouldn't count. It's not fair. Give us the 3 points.
I mean, rushing back to being in Sunderland. Rough.
Not right.
I'm only joking.
You said that, not me.
I've never been.
I have.
I went last year, yeah. Fair enough.
No, anything else on the dickhead ref, Tim Robinson? I thought he was fine. I don't.
thought it was fine.
There's nothing in what he did that really annoyed me.
One thing I want to know is, after the announcement yesterday about the power banks and vapes and coins, how much have the stewards at Sunderland made off the seized power banks? I don't know if you can resell. I don't know if there's much of a market
Huge
for
black market
second-hand
for it,
vapes, but
Sunderland market will be wild tomorrow.
And again, for Ilan's sake, might be best that there weren't any coins in that away end, to be fair.
Yeah, the ref was having none of that. The Mundell dive for the penalty as well. That was annoying just before half time. But again, as well, everything's been overshadowed by Ilan Melier.
It was annoying he didn't book him for that, though, because he did stop the game. And it's like, well...
He trailed a leg, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he stopped the game for just no reason when Melier went to get the ball and tried to counter.
did he give a free kick? I don't even know if he did.
I think it was just a drop ball. I don't know. He gave us possession, I think. But it was like, well, if you're going to stop it, book him.
Did Daniel Farker do anything right, wrong, or anywhere in between today, apart from picking Ilan Melier?
Pick Joel Pirro. That was right, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Justified with the goal. Not what I was expecting, to be fair. So it felt like a relatively bold call that came off.
Yeah, I think it's mainly surprising because it's not really him to make decisions that aren't totally conservative, but I feel like it worked.
Yeah.
He scored, so I suppose that vindicates it, but
his subs didn't ruin the game.
No.
And Ramazani,
the keeper.
I was going to say, we were speaking recently about Ramazani not making it to 90 minutes in the wake of the subs that he made in the previous games at Coventry. Melier. And yeah, he left him on tonight, didn't he, basically, for all of it, just about. So...
Yeah, he does seem to talk down Ramazani a bit as like he's taking his first steps in English football and all that. He's playing La Liga. Like, Sunderland, really? Norwich? The guy's played against Real Madrid and Barcelona and that. I think he'd be all right.
I think he's probably just trying to manage expectations a bit.
Well, my expectations have gone through the roof. Out of control.
Yeah, again, I haven't seen any comments coming in yet, but again, that could be down to Elon Musk's butchering of Twitter, so I'll keep an eye on it. I do like Chappie's comment, just saying I don't want to sound dramatic, but I might just go walk straight into the sea.
I did, before we started this, I did just have to go stand outside and get some fresh air just to try and rationalise everything, I guess, but I was tempted to just keep on walking, to be fair, just not turn up for this.
You know, come the shakedown, this will probably end up looking like a decent point, and we will forget about it as time wears on if we can get ourselves up there, which we should do. On the evidence of tonight, last few weeks, we probably should do. And I mean, like, in terms of, like, I mean, Michael's not here, but the optimism scale, I still feel very optimistic about that. When you ignore the absolute idiocy of Melier there at the very end, which we've only got 2 weeks to think about it now. Melier, save it, just catch it. But I feel fine about the season in general now. I feel like we're building up enough evidence to go. We've got enough about us to go win most games.
I think it's been a week of like really solid work, like, you know, good home win, away from home, where that first 20 minutes at Norwich, everything felt like it was going wrong. Gruev gets injured, give away a penalty, go a goal down, fought our way back into that and played some good stuff. I know it was a slightly frustrating ending, but it was still a good point at a place where they'd not been beaten since last bonfire night. And then tonight, played really well. Again, not a great start, go a goal down, but then that's the fear with this Leeds team, is that we give the opposition a goal and they just sit 11 men behind the ball and make things really difficult for us. But actually tonight we've shown that we can look a class above when we're on it, and, you know, should have been 3 points. So there are a lot of positives to take from it, but there is one big negative overshadowing everything, isn't there?
Shane is in the comments on YouTube saying, honestly, the ball has hit a divot in the grass and bounced oddly. Understanding the frustration, but it's definitely very harsh to blame the kid keeper. He's not a kid anymore. Horrible bounce. You'll see it on one of the replays. I mean, fair enough. It happens. It's really unfortunate, and I'm sure the comments that come out afterwards will go some way to explain it. But, you know,
it did look like it had a divot of some description. It changes direction. It's not a rugby ball, like, so.
Yeah,
you would imagine that that's what happened.
It's whichever way you frame it, it's still a basic error that you should be smothering them anyway.
Yeah, you should have punched it.
Well, optimism-wise, I feel fine about it. Anything to add?
I thought Rodon played quite well, and there was a little bit of his usual telling everyone to calm down whilst being the least calm person on the pitch. The reincarnation of Jesse Marsh. But
I love Rodon. There's just something about his face. He's just so expressive.
Yeah, he's good fun.
He's like a cartoon character.
Yeah,
he's looked a bit more assured defensively tonight than at times this season, I think.
I mean, even against Norwich, he gave away that penalty, which weren't great, but he did a lot of good defending after that. And I think these last few weeks, him and Strauch have been really good, which is weird when we've just conceded 2 goals. But again, one of them doesn't count.
Can you really blame them for either of them?
No,
I'm trying to think back to the first one. Don't know if I've got any.
Was it Ramazani slightly slow tracking back? But even he's pretty good off the ball. Like, he gets back and gets a foot in.
Yeah.
We do look a bit. There seems to be a bit of a Ethan Ampadu shaped hole in front of our back four. But again, I think it just makes the games we're in a bit more exciting and fun.
Well, we've got 2 weeks to think over this error and hopefully move on and prep for Sheffield United after the break.
At least one of our 2 starting midfielders isn't going to the other side of the world. I'm back.
Apparently, Farkas told TalkSport that Melier's mistake will not affect his place in the Leeds United team. So the comments are starting to sort of drip out now via journalists. Presumably the post match is underway. So we'll have a little dive into that and maybe come back and revisit that when we're not so sad.
We should get Will Ferrell to give him a team talk.
Yeah, he was at the LA meetup tonight, this afternoon, whatever time it is. Pictured in a Leeds top. Seeing Will Ferrell sat there in a Leeds top next to somebody with Flamingo Land on their sleeve is not something I ever thought I'd see in my lifetime.
Or you could frame it another way, that he's in a pub at 12 o'clock on a Friday. He's been investing in Leeds for a couple of months and he's drinking at 12 o'clock.
He'll be drinking a lot more after that, I suspect.
Right, well, we need to wrap up the match ball there. Members, thank you for joining us on the live stream. You can check out the audio version in the members feed for extra time, which we will do now. We'll roll straight into that. Where are you going to mention Epstein's Island again, Chris, like last time?
Don't know what you're talking about.
That's what they all say. Some bonus chat over on there. If you want to become a member, head to thesquareball.net/plus, and we'll be back with all the usual stuff in the next week. Obviously, heading into the international break, not quite the same lineup of shows, but we'll have proper. Imagine if there'd been an opposition propaganda, we'd be in live streaming tonight. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. Be grateful. And we'll be chatting to loads more people next week. Eli, why don't you just catch it? Just catch it. That's all they had to do.
The match ball.